Thanks for joining us. I'm Tamika Alexander. We begin tonight with breaking news from Brookwood, where a police officer was seriously injured this evening. WVUA's Travis Leader is there in Brookwood and has the very latest. Travis, what can you tell us?
Yes, Tamika. Brookwood Mayor Alton Heich has confirmed to us that a Brookwood police officer was run over by a suspect. Now, this happened over by Cover Bridge Road, just off of the 2059 exit for Brookwood and Vance. I believe that is exit 86. Now, Tuscaloosa County Sheriff deputies told WVUA that they are still searching for suspects at this time. Now, the officer was run over by a suspect and taken to a hospital. They are currently saying that he has serious injuries. The only confirmation of injuries that we have right now, though, is that he has a broken leg. Now, this is all coming from Brookwood Mayor Alton Heich. We are out here in Brookwood. We are continuing to gather details, and we'll have more later in the newscast. Tamika?
All right, thanks a lot, Travis. Now an update on a story we first brought you last week. Police investigators say they believe they have found the body of a Northport man who has been missing for 3 weeks. 86-year-old Luvert Richardson was likely found several feet into the crawl space underneath his bathroom. Investigators say the bathroom appeared to be unstable as the floor was caved in. Richardson had been suffering dementia, and a missing persons case was filed last week. Richardson's body is currently with the Alabama Department of Forensic Scientists for positive identification and autopsy. WVUA contacted Richardson's niece, Cherry Richardson. She says she is saddened by the news, but is relieved to know that there can be closure to this case. We now have new information tonight from Los Angeles County regarding their search for a new head of Homeland Security. They continue to actively pursue Tuscaloosa County Sheriff Ted Sexton. Steve Whitmore, spokesperson for the LA County Sheriff's Office, tells WVUA they have not made a formal offer to Sexton, but that LA County Sheriff Lee Baca wants Sexton for the job. Whitmore said they have more formalities to go through before Sexton is offered the job. There is no time frame yet on when that will happen. WVUA is covering Mobile, where a large crane was brought into the CSX rail yard and had to lift more than 20 steel beams to recover 3 people who were crushed to death inside of a train car. A 4th suffered serious injuries and a 5th was not harmed in the early morning accident. Mobile police say they were transients who had been sleeping inside of the open top car. When CSX employees began to move the car, heavy steel I-beams shifted inside, crushing the men. AL.com reports that the 2 survivors will face trespassing charges for sleeping in that rail car. And now we'll look at the Alabama legislature. Alabama Governor Robert Bentley has vetoed a Franklin County school safety bill that would have authorized some teachers to carry firearms. The bill would allow teachers and other school personnel in Franklin County and Russellville City schools to train as reserve county sheriff deputies and then carry firearms in school. It was the first school safety measure this session to pass both the House and the Senate. But Bentley said in his veto message that the measure does not contain specific and extensive training requirements. The governor said failure to provide adequate training would put children at risk. House-sponsored Democratic Representative Johnny McMorrow of Red Bay said he would ask House members to reject the governor's veto. Neither the House nor the Senate took up the governor's veto on Tuesday. A judge plans to rule Wednesday on whether the governor can sign into law a bill providing private school tax credits. Governor Robert Bentley had plans to sign the bill Tuesday afternoon, but Montgomery Circuit Court Judge Charles Price temporarily put that on hold while he considers a lawsuit filed by the Alabama Education Association. Price heard arguments Tuesday afternoon on whether the measure violated Alabama's open meeting law and its own operating rules in passing the bill in a series of quick votes Thursday night. Price told attorneys to be back in his courtroom at 8:30 a.m. Wednesday when he will give them his decision. The bill provides tax credits for parents who move their children from failing public schools to private schools. The tax credits would help cover tuition.
Our goal is not to create more private schools. That's not our goal. Our goal is to make these failing schools become good schools. That is all of our goal. And once that takes place, all of these tax credits go away. If we didn't have a failing school in the state, we wouldn't have any tax credits.
Alabama Governor Robert Bentley is showing support for an abortion legislation aimed at tightening regulations. The Senate Health Committee is expected to vote on a House-approved measure Wednesday. The bill would tighten restrictions on abortion clinics, including requiring abortion clinics to have a doctor present who has approval to admit patients to a local hospital. Republican State Senator and Health Committee Chairman Greg Reed says he expects the bill to clear committee, and support from Governor Bentley will aid its passage in the Senate.
If the governor was for it, I think it supports the legislation and it gives it more opportunity to become law, certainly. If the governor didn't support it, I think it would be a negative for the sponsor.
However, there are many opponents to the bill. The Southeast Vice President of Planned Parenthood, Nakima Williams, says the bill is an attack on women's rights. Well, the first phase of Tuscaloosa City Walk is ready to take place. The Tuscaloosa City Council has made an agreement with the contractor to begin the first leg of the new walking path. The path will go through tornado recovery areas throughout Tuscaloosa, including Alberta City and 10th Avenue. The first part to be built will go along the backside of the Central Church of Christ on Hargrove Road. City Communications Director Deidre Stallnaker says the first leg will set the path for the rest of the City Walk.
It's going to set a precedent for how we do the City Walk in its entirety. It's going to, all the light fixtures that we use, all the technology components that we're going to run along City Walk, all of that's going to set a precedent.
Stallnaker says they plan to begin construction within 1 month. Well, switching gears to the weather, let's get a first check on Alabama's home team forecast. Chief Meteorologist Richard Scott joins us now. Hey, Richard, those temperatures drop rather quickly out there today.
Yeah, getting cold tonight, Tamika. Temperatures already down to the 30s on the board, 38 in Tuscaloosa, 39 in Birmingham. Notice the 40s around us. Those will shrink later tonight as cold air takes over the deep south. A warmer 62 down in Tallahassee. No warm air around here anytime soon, at least over the next 24 hours. But a big-time snowstorm starting to get shaped up over the eastern part of the U.S. In fact, from about Chicago and points east, very heavy snow about to fall over the next couple of days. And this could become a blizzard across the eastern seaboard as the storm system moves off towards the northeast. We get that cold air wrapped in around it. So we'll deal with those chilly temperatures tomorrow morning. Starting off our bus stop forecast, around 32, but sunshine will be in full force. Good news is just down the road we warm back up. We'll tell you how warm it's going to get in your forecast. That's straight ahead, so stick around.
Thanks, Richard. A big development in the race to cure HIV is hitting close to home, for one family in Tuscaloosa. WVUA reporter Jennifer Edwards has the story of the Dreyfus family who adopted a child from Africa with HIV.
Meet Cooper. He is the 2-year-old son of Tim and Anna Dreyfus and the brother of 3 siblings. Cooper was born with HIV.
We sought out a child with HIV when we sought to adopt because we learned that there's children over in other countries. I mean, Ethiopia was one, there's others that don't have access to the medical care we have here.
Dreyfus says Cooper visits a doctor every 4 months and takes medicine twice a day. It's the medicine, he says, that's made a world of a difference.
We brought Cooper home, even though he was on medicine in Africa, in Ethiopia, his viral load was at 690,000, okay? An undetectable level is below 50. In over a year's time of taking medicine daily, he's down below 50. And that's considered undetectable, meaning they know it's there, but it's virtually not there.
Dreyfus says as Cooper gets older, he may only have to take his medicine once a day. But hearing news like the toddler from Mississippi who was functionally cured without treatment gives them hope for Cooper's future, as well as the future of orphans with HIV.
We're excited to hear that because, you know, there's an opportunity to potential on down the line for there to be a cure. And we've always thought, haven't we? Always thought maybe there'll be a cure one day. But regardless, where he's at right now, he's at the same health level as that child. So many people pass over children with HIV, and we understand why, but we also try to encourage people all the time that, I mean, that was out of our adoption, probably out of everything out of our adoption, that was the easiest part.
Now, Cooper was diagnosed with cerebral palsy. His parents say his CP has been harder to deal with than the HIV. They say they're trying to educate the community about HIV to help reduce the stigma around it.